Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on three little words that cause a whole lot of confusion in English: through, across, and along. They seem so simple, right? But getting them right can be surprisingly tricky. But don't worry, by the end of this, it's going to be second nature. Okay, so let's just dive right in with a classic puzzle. They walked blank the forest. Did they walk across it, along it, or through it? By the time we're done here, you're not only going to know the right answer, but you'll know exactly why it's the right one. So here's the secret. It's not about memorizing a bunch of boring grammar rules. It's all about how you visualize things. The absolute key is how you picture the landmark. That's just the fancy term for the place or thing you're talking about. You know, like the forest. Do you see it as a flat surface, a long line, or some kind of enclosed space? That one question changes everything. First up, we've got across. You're going to want to use this one whenever you picture the landmark as a surface, like a big flat area. Think about walking across a field or swimming across a lake. Even something like papers scattered across a carpet. In all those cases, you're moving over a two-dimensional plane. Simple, right? Okay, now, how is along different? Well, we use along when we see the landmark as a line. So imagine driving along a road, or walking along a riverbank, or maybe taking a stroll along the coastline. You're following a path, a line. And finally, through. This one is all about the third dimension. You use through when you're moving from one side of something to the other, but you're inside of it. You're in a volume, an enclosed space. Think about driving through a tunnel, pushing through a crowd, or, you guessed it, walking through a forest. You're literally inside it, surrounded by trees. So let's just boil it all down. Here it is in one neat little table. Across is for surfaces, along is for lines, and through is for spaces or volumes. Honestly, that's the whole framework. That's the key that unlocks it all. Now, let's see if you can put it to work. All right, theory is great and all, but the real test is putting it into practice. So it's time for a little quiz to see how well these ideas are sinking in. You ready for this? Let's do it. First question for you. They scattered litter all blank the road. Now, before you answer, think about that landmark, the road. Picture it in your head. Is it a surface, a line, or a space?
And the answer is along.
And this is a perfect example of why. We mentally picture a road as a long, narrow path, right? A line. So when something is distributed on that path, along is the word you want. Makes total sense. Okay, next one. It scattered papers all blank the carpet. So how is a carpet different from a road in our little mental map? The correct proposition here is across. Exactly. A carpet is a classic surface, a flat area. So when things are scattered over that area, we use across. You see the pattern here? It's all about how you visualize that landmark. It's not about the words, it's about the picture in your head. All right, let's try a more abstract one now. A bit of a curveball. You don't have to go blank with the plan. A plan isn't a physical place, so how does our system work for something like this?
The answer is through.
And this is where it gets really, really cool, because this is where we see the physical idea turn into a metaphor. We think of a process, like a plan or an experience, as a kind of container. So to go through it means you're entering at the beginning and coming out at the end, as if you were moving inside of it. So that last question wasn't just a trick. It actually opens up this whole other level to how these words work. This simple system of surfaces, lines, and spaces. Well, it doesn't just apply to moving around in the real world. It's actually the foundation for a huge range of abstract ideas in English. Let's see how deep this goes. Just look at this comparison. On the one hand, I walked through the door. Totally literal, right? You enter one side, you exit the other. But on the right, I lost $600 through sheer carelessness. Here, the cause, the carelessness, is imagined as a space or a process you had to pass through to get to the result. The underlying logic is exactly the same. And this idea just pops up everywhere. So through can mean because of or by means of. The phrase come across something, that paints a picture of your path literally crossing the path of something else by chance. And even a word like throughout takes that idea of being inside a space and just stretches it to mean something happened continuously during an entire period of time.
So the big question is, how can you use this every day? Let's just distill everything we've talked about into a simple, practical tool. Think of it like a mental GPS for picking the right preposition every single time. It's really just a simple 3-step process. First, just find your landmark, the noun you're talking about. Step 2, picture it in your mind's eye. What does it look like? A flat surface, a long line, an enclosed space. And then step 3, just choose your word based on that image. Across, along, or through. That's it. That's the entire system.
So you see, what seems like just another little grammar rule is actually a window into how we think, how we organize and map out our entire world, which really makes you wonder, right? If these tiny, everyday words can build such huge, complex worlds of meaning, what other small parts of language are we completely overlooking every single day?